Hi, and welcome to the CDFM study group. My name is Helen Thomas, and I'm going to be covering CDFM Module 4, which is the acquisition portion of the exam. And I will be specifically looking at Section 8, Test and Evaluation. This section accounts for 9% of the questions on the exam. So let's begin. What does test and evaluation do? The purpose of it is to identify and learn about deficiencies, whether it's a technical or operational deficiency, so that we can resolve them prior to production and deployment. So it's like you're developing a system. You don't want to just develop it and just put it out in the field. You want to test it. That's what they're doing here. So what does the developmental test and evaluation ensure? Ensures that performance, capability, and reliability are designed in the system early to make sure, going back to the JSIDs where we identify the capability gap, then we look for the solution to fix the problem, is when you do your test and evaluation, you want to ensure that it is the design, the development of that system is doing what it's supposed to do. You want to know that early on in the system. So the DT&E increases robust system level and the system of testing and evaluation. Let me see, that's a lot of system level and system of systems level testing and evaluation to ensure the system has matured to a point where it can meet that technology and operational employment requirements. So what does DT&E reduce? Reduces technology risk and risk mitigation requirements. So you're reducing the risk associated with the development of that system early on so that you won't have as much risk to deal with on the back end. All right, let's see. Modeling and simulation and development, test and evaluation. So that's your M&S, modeling and simulation. Development, test, and evaluation are integrated and inseparable parts of the acquisition program. So as you're going to see, a lot of this is making sure you know the right term. Even though you may know what's going on, the concept, you got to know that we're talking about modeling and simulation and development, test, and evaluation. Those are inseparable parts of the acquisition program. So with modeling and simulation accreditation used in your test and evaluation, so this acronym is up here, must be accredited by the user. The program manager is currently the user when you're in the development stage. So accreditation can be achieved by a robust verification, validation, and accreditation. All right, operational test and evaluation is conducted, so that's kind of repetitive. So let me take this out from here. All right, operational test and evaluation is conducted to determine system operational effectiveness, suitability, and survivability. So basically, it's going to ask you what type of test or evaluation is done to achieve effectiveness, suitability, and survivability. Operational test and evaluation. What must be credited and accreditation achieved by robust verification, validation, and achieve accreditation. The M&S, modeling and simulation accreditation. All right, what else? What does live fire test and evaluation have? It is a statutory requirement, so the ability of personnel to survive should be addressed, even in cases where the platform cannot survive. Evaluation of system survivability in the context of vulnerability to realistic threat, munitions, and or systems lethality. So live fire, if you think of a live fire, is actually putting that item through that live fire exercise to see what will happen. So according to U.S. Code 2366, Title 10 U.S. Code 2366, it's a statutory requirement that a live fire must be conducted. What is test and evaluation strategy? The test is a tool to ensure system is matured sufficiently so that it can meet the IOT&E and operational employment requirements completed before milestone A. So that might be important because you want to know, when do you do the test? When do you do the test and evaluation? Completed before milestone 8. So this is part of the technology development. Yeah, and it says it here. It describes the T&E activity starting with technology development. Submitted 45 days prior to milestone A. So whenever it talks about milestone A, milestone B, pre-systems acquisition, those are the different phases. So you're going to have to know what happened at each phase. So as you come in with these technology and evaluation strategy and so forth, baseline, you need to know, does it occur at milestone A, B, C, technology development, and so forth. So who approves this test up here? It is the USD AT&L. So the USD AT&L and the Director of Operational Test and Evaluation. So we have a director in charge of operational test and evaluation will approve the test for all programs under OSD T&E oversight. So whichever one's test and evaluation oversight that the USD AT&L is responsible for, a test will be completed, test and evaluation. What is the test and evaluation master plan? It describes the required type and amount of test and evaluation events and resource requirements. So you see the temp is required. Let's put that there. Milestone B and C. The temp must be consistent with the time phase statement of desired capability in the capability development document. So if you check on learning, who's responsible for the temp? The program manager. The tests will evolve into the test and evaluation will evolve. Test and evaluation strategy will evolve to the temp. Covered system, DoD term for all systems that require live fire test and evaluation is called a covered system. So these were all checked on learning. So this is section 8, test and evaluation, which accounts for 9% of CDFM module 4 exam. Thank you, and I'll see you guys again next time.